Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Michael Damiani.
How's it going, everyone?
Michael Huber.
At this point, I'm beginning to believe I'm a Giants fan.
And Brandon Jones.
Go Dodgers.
Oh, my goodness. It's happening, Huber.
Just a bit outside.
I feel like you're going to be like, I should give him a chance. I'll just watch one game.
Like breaking down. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
consuming me.
That's cool.
It's like the Venom suit.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Like you watch it and it's like, some of these guys are pretty good.
When you're done, you like take the hat off and put it on the desk, and it just like slides over to you. Like,
Are you gonna burn that when you're done?
I got some plans.
Ooh.
Stay tuned.
Okay, stay tuned. Excellent. If you are tuning in right now, if you're watching this right now, obviously you are. This is a Love and Respect only episode. That means that this entire episode will be drawn entirely from patrons of the $5 and up tier of patreon.com/easyallies who submitted questions, topics, games, anything to the Love and Respect post. So that's it. We're on holiday right now.
it's the last podcast of the year. Mm-hmm. It's super late at night. We're super loopy.
Oh, it is
Midnight right now.
almost midnight.
Yeah.
Let's get through them all.
We're gonna have a loopy vibes.
Big gremlins.
I do
Is
have
there
too
a
many.
full moon outside?
It's pretty close. It's something close to a full moon.
Woo, you can feel it.
Yeah. Feel the energy.
Yep.
Feel the energy. I got too many questions. We're gonna answer as many as we can, but the way that Love and Respect works is not that we rush through them, that we give them each the time and dedication.
Were there any Bloodborne questions?
Not a single one.
It's 2016.
It's 2016.
Soon to be
Doesn't matter.
Soon to be
Move on.
2017.
This one we got a lot, and so I want to start with this one. Season's greetings, allies! The holidays are coming up, and I love holiday traditions. My favorite tradition is getting some of my buddies together a couple of days before Christmas and play Mario Kart for hours. It is very jolly.
Excellent tradition.
So, my question to the panel and Kyle is, do you have any holiday gaming traditions, Love and Respect? Absolutely, Jesus. Appropriate. It's his birthday. Also included is, I saw a lot of people just want to know your holiday memories with gaming involved. So anything having to do with that, traditions, holiday memories, your favorite presents you ever got, things like that.
Yeah, the only tradition I have is just making sure to play games with just the Christmas tree lights glowing. So I just have
Ooh,
the only...
Huber, that
Yeah.
speaks to me.
I love it.
Yes.
So much.
I've definitely been there.
I just... all darkness, got the Christmas tree glowing, and a little hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I will have a nice little glass of hot chocolate, and I just settle into. I try to find a cozy game.
Oh my God, yeah. Jones, what you got?
I don't have a lot of Christmas traditions. My birthday's like a month after Christmas, so I have birthday traditions and I have Halloween traditions, but like not a lot. The only thing I can think of is that like I remember last year the last time I brought my PlayStation 4 to Florida to hang out with the in-laws was Far Cry 4. And I remember just like finishing it, like going back in and knowing like I'm gonna do more in this game I've already played a lot of. And so it's like actually going back through and just kind of capping games off, being like, all right, I'm gonna run my progression into the ground. If there's anything I ever wanted to do, I'm doing it. So like a No Man's Sky I could see as a kind of a game I would dig up over Christmas break and like, yeah, we'll try out that update and get back into this. I probably won't do that, but for that game specifically. But yeah, a good Christmas gaming tradition. I think I need one of those.
Damiani, what you got?
I haven't done it in a while, but there was a point where I would always go home for the holidays to my parents' home, and I would always, because they had the only VHS player up to a point. Some point there was only VHS technology, then there was DVD, but they kept having the VHS player.
Oh, I see.
I would go back so it'd be the only chance to do this as well.
Yep.
I would go back and rewatch these promotional videos from Nintendo.
Oh my God.
I would rewatch the Donkey Kong Country one. Mm-hmm. I would rewatch the Diddy Kong Racing one. Mm-hmm. I would rewatch the Nintendo 64 one.
Do you still have these?
Oh my God.
Some of them I think are still there. They got rid of them.
my God, Damian,
but they're all
please find
on YouTube, so I just watch them on
okay.
YouTube now. It's great.
Banjo-Kazooie, did that have one?
I don't remember if Banjo-Kazooie did, because the Diddy Kong Racing was John Lovitz or whatever did the VO for that one.
John Lovitz?
Lovitz, sorry, yeah.
The critic?
Yeah. The
Whoa.
guy.
Yeah.
He did it in his like just his normal voice. And he did try to do comedy stuff in there as well.
Oh my god, these are precious.
Yeah.
The
Save these videos.
I had to go buy it because I didn't originally get it. I don't know why I didn't get it. But I didn't get the Majora's Mask promotional one.
You had to go buy that?
I kept hearing about it, so I bought it like on eBay one year, and I was like, I added it to the collection. I was like, good. But it was always the N64 one because I remember as that system was coming out, I'd watch that video every single day.
Nice.
Said the Mario 64 footage. They like brought the kids to Nintendo,
So
and I was just
cool.
like, "What's up?"
Too
This is the
cool.
coolest-
I haven't seen these videos.
Yeah.
I've seen like the Star Fox one.
Everyone's seen this. Most
Yeah.
Nintendo fans have seen the
Yeah.
Star Fox one with the torture the Mario joke. It's the Sony and the Sega guy. Like, was Sony and Sega, right? Or was it? Because there's no
it was
Microsoft
Sega.
yet.
It was Sega at that point,
I knew it was
absolutely.
Sega for one. I didn't know
Yeah,
it, was,
yeah, yeah.
it was Sony time yet. It was too soon.
And they sort of talked like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like the guy, like they parachute. Oh god, it's so good.
Yeah.
And go watch it if you can on YouTube. The Nintendo 64 one, it's like they're bringing these three like cool teenagers from around the U.S.
Whoa.
Like the top gamers. And they go to Nintendo, all top secret and stuff. And they put them in a room, and they're like, "Here's the Nintendo 64," and they're like blown away. And they have some of the NOA Treehouse guys. There's a guy, I don't know if he's still there, called Armand Williams. Was like kind of like the host of it or whatever. So good.
So did you have to explain to your family what you're doing?
No, because I'd watch them at night and stuff. They wouldn't care. Like, you know, they come in like, oh, he's like, they knew what tapes I had. So they knew that was just like video game stuff. So like, whatever, it's video game video.
They're
Who
just
cares?
like, oh, little Damiani's just watching his gaming tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So cool.
I love it. And that was the only place where you could watch them.
Yeah, I would like always do it when I went home because
Yeah.
I mean, aside, the only Christmas thing ever was like I got a Super Nintendo for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only system I ever got on Christmas or gaming thing I can remember getting on Christmas. And that was a big deal. Like the Super Nintendo Christmas, such a big deal for me. Got all those games. Was like,
What are all those games?
I got F-Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Super Tennis.
Yep.
Came with Super Mario World.
Uh-huh.
And I got
Super Tennis.
Pilot Wings.
Sure.
Yes.
What was there? Because I had 5 games. I always forget what the 5th one
UN
was.
Turok.
Squadron.
No, I did not get UN Squadron. Truck didn't exist on Super Nintendo.
Oh, I thought you were talking about N64.
Yeah, 64.
Hubert, not paying a lot of attention.
Oh, what was it? I forget. It was a third-party title. Definitely a third-party title.
Castlevania.
Might have been Super Castlevania 4, but I thought
Yeah.
that wasn't out yet.
That was close to launch.
Might have been
Castlevania?
December,
Yeah.
but it was mostly. I remember F-Zero. Like no, it was not. It was Madden. Sorry, it was another sports
okay.
game. It was the
Sure,
Madden
sure,
game.
sure.
Sorry. So Madden Super Tennis is like, it's kind of cool to play. Those look interesting, but
Gotta have a sports
like
game.
F-Zero, Pilot Wings, Super Mario World, like played them to death.
Mm-hmm.
My friend in the neighborhood, he got one too for Christmas. He got UN Squadron. I had to go over there to play that one. I was like,
Yes.
oh, you got this game. This
Greg
is pretty cool.
Gates. Hubert, you would love Greg Gates.
Who's Greg Gates?
Greg, so in UN Squadron, and you're just flying jets, you get to pick 3 characters.
Yeah.
One guy's just called Greg
Greg
Gates.
Greg Gates.
Yeah.
I love the name.
And he's like the guy, like, I think he's kind of like the tank of UN Squadron.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So you got to pick Greg Gates so you get the HP.
Dude, yes. I've never played that game. I've never even heard of it.
It's cool. It's Capcom, like a Super Nintendo launch title. Really cool.
I don't know. Did you all ever get a chance to go to kiosks back in the day? Like I remember going to Toys R Us. I was old enough to go to Toys R Us to see Super Nintendo kiosks. They had Super Mario World playable before. It must have been after it came out because I didn't get Super Nintendo till December. But anytime I'd go to a Toys R Us, like once or twice, I can remember before, they'd have it playing there. Even though I couldn't play it, I would just stare at the title screen and listen to that music because they would play the title screen music.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would have to be like, "It's time to go," and I'm like, "I just want to sit here and watch this."
Oh, I love
And
kiosks.
N64,
Oh,
a friend of mine, we had fall break. I don't know if that was a thing out here in California, but we had fall and spring break for a while. Like Texas school started.
Winter
to do
break?
No, it was fall. It was
Fall
like in
break?
October.
fall break.
Whoa.
They gave us a
man.
week
Must
off.
be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still exists, and it didn't exist when I was little. It happened
Sure.
like I was a little older.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we came out to Palm Springs in California for a week, and there was a Toys R Us within walking distance of us. And we'd go there every day because they had Mario 64 playable.
Yes.
We'd spend like 3 hours there just playing Super Mario 64.
And getting good.
Instead of like going out and doing cool stuff in Palm Springs, like,
Wow.
hey, go to the pool, like,
Yeah.
go somewhere else
Go
or something.
Toys R Us.
Like, we're going to Toys R Us.
And ignore
To
the
play
kiosk with Twisted Metal on it. We don't need that game.
I'm trying to remember. I remember Gex.
I distinctly remember
or-
a Twisted Metal
Or
kiosk.
I remember
at Toys
Vector
R
Man.
Us.
I remember a Vector Man demo for Saturn.
Cool.
I remember playing
Way
one of
cool.
those. I don't remember if I ever had a PlayStation one. But anyway, I don't know if any of you ever had like cool kiosk experiences or anything like that. Like as I got older, I stopped.
I
Like around
remember.
GameCube era, they started vanishing, and I stopped caring
I
about
remember
them.
Star Fox Adventures kiosk, and I was like, oh,
Like,
no.
GameStop would always have them, but always with the
Yeah.
little kids there. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna don't need to go on that.
Stuff.
In terms of like traditions for me, they're kind of over. Christmas used to be the time I would see my cousins who lived in Georgia. You see them like once or twice a year, and it was my chance to like show them my games and like little cousins. They loved Tekken. They loved watching all the endings, and so I'd have them all loaded up, kind of like what we just did on stream. I would just show them all the endings. We would laugh at the hilarious endings. We would like really get into the serious ones. They bought Spice World for me for Christmas, but didn't wrap it. They said, we want to see what this game is. They loved the Spice Girls, and so there's kind of like, would you play this for us so we can watch how it
Wow.
goes? And that was like one of the really cool Christmases. But yeah, it would show them the games. It would be they dig Parappa. They loved Parappa big time. Just God, I feel like most of my best gaming memories are Christmas memories. Like getting a Game Boy. I got so many games with it. I think my parents totally like they just bought a package. There was no rhyme or reason to the games that were included with
Yeah.
it. Like chess was in there, Fist of the North Star was in there.
Nice.
I could not play the game. I didn't get it. Final Fantasy Adventure was in there, and it was kind of deep in. The characters had swear words for names, and I was super confused by it because it was my first RPG. I didn't know you could name characters, and I showed that to my mom, and I'm like, hey. This isn't right. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's not right. We're taking it back. And I thought Santa gave it. I think it was like a Santa gift. And I was like, what do you mean taking it back? She's like, well, no, we're taking it to a place that's going to fix this. And so my mom took in this used copy of Final Fantasy Adventure. And it's like, this has swear words in it. And they're like, oh, we'll try to fix it. Clearly, they just started a new save file.
Yeah.
Because like she didn't know either.
You can't give us one character name? No, just one.
Won't do it. Got to stay professional.
Wow.
Probably a B word in there, which would explain why my mom would be incited. Yeah, but yeah, that was cool. God, yeah, Christmas great. Hubert, just keep because that's what it is mostly now. Is I'm playing a game on my 3DS and I bring a handheld game.
Yeah.
And when everybody goes to bed,
Christmas tree.
keep that Christmas tree light on and play some games.
Do you remember doing-
I got a jolly Christmas memory. Just
here we go.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
So I got the older brother, 3.5 years older. So a lot of the family friends were his age because they were like the first, family friends that my parents met while they were raising him. And then I grow up and I got my own weird friends who might be like younger siblings of some of my brother's friends, but
yeah.
not a lot of like us going out. Like all the family friends that we have were like a lot of them were like my brother's older friends. So we would go to the Valiers for Christmas. That was like one of the Christmas parties we would go to every year. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be hanging out with my brother and all of his cool friends. Kind of boring for me because like I don't know I'm not into the music they're listening to. I'm not hip on the references. If I'm lucky, we can maybe get a rated R movie. Like if we go there, they're like, okay, go hang out with your brother, and like, well, he's gonna hang out with them. We're gonna be in the kids' room in the back, and like they might put on like Red Dawn or like Child's Play or something. Like, oh, cool, I haven't seen that
Whoa.
rated R movie.
Oh God.
So show up, and I'm like, hey, where are they? Like, oh, they're in the master bedroom. And I was like, okay, and I go in, and like. I've never seen so many of them dialed into one thing. Like they'd either like put on a movie and just kind of hang back, or like they would all be having random conversations. This group is like, what the heck is happening on the TV right now? And I turn around and it's Pitfall for the Atari 2600.
The big kids were into Pitfall.
They were all like, this home console thing is so hip. And I was just like, what is happening? And then of course, like my brother and I was like, he's you're my little dorky brother. Like all of a sudden we were like, you and I need to, with the parents, we need to figure out like how can we do this. Not only with the 2600, but the NES when that came back around. We actually saved up money and got it with our allowance, but it was like,
Well,
we
you tag team
realized
NES?
like, okay, we don't, like agree on many things, but like this clearly needs to be a priority.
That's cool.
But and that was Christmas. Every time I think of like going to a Christmas party, like my first home console video game I ever played ever in my life was at a
Pitfall.
Christmas party
Really cool.
that I did not think would be that cool.
Do you have like weird memories of like getting random games? Like for whatever reason,
Yeah.
I see myself getting Wheel of Fortune on N64.
Oh, you
mean
bet I
like
had Wheel of
random
Fortune on
title
NES.
Yeah,
100% that.
So weird. I have that memory.
That's such an easy grandma purchase. It's like Wheel of Fortune. I know what that is. It's
Yeah.
probably super fun.
Yeah, man,
Chess?
I must have
Everybody
got-
loves chess.
I got lucky then.
Why? What'd you get?
My dad used to have to go on business trips a lot, and anytime my grandmother and my mother's side would ever visit, he'd bring, either my dad would bring back an NES game or my grandmother would bring back an NES game. And that's how I got, I'll keep it short. That's like how I got the original Zelda. That's how I got
The Origins.
Yeah, it was like this gold box. I was
Yeah.
like, holy crap. Like every like major cool Nintendo game, like Mega Man, like everything through that, I got as gifts from them randomly. I'm a kid. I think I probably imagined my dad going on more trips than he really did. But it was probably like maybe 3 or 4 times a year. You could always come back with a new NES game for me.
That's why you
my
remember.
My grandmother would visit like 2 or 3 times a year. New NES games. So you get like 5-6 games something or like a year.
That's good. That's
And
the
it's
life,
like,
man. 5
yeah.
or 6 a year.
Because I don't remember getting stuff for Christmas for games except for the Super Nintendo memory I talked about. It was just got like like 5-6 games a year, but it was always like cool games. I think the only one I didn't like was Pinball for NES.
That game, no.
Because I was like,
Pass.
because
It's got a cool
my
robot.
dad kept buying me NES games even after Super Nintendo came out, and he loved pinball growing up when
Oh, yeah.
pinball was a thing. So he tried to buy it for like me to play because he wanted to play it. I remember he played it once. He's like, "This isn't real." Like,
Yeah.
He got annoyed with it and he put it down. He's
This
like,
isn't real.
This isn't real.
"It's not the real thing.
It's not real
It's
pinball.
not the real
My
thing."
memory of pinball was going to like a cousin's house, and it's like, oh yeah, they have a Nintendo. It's hooked up. Go and play it. And it's pinball, and it's kind of like, no thanks. Even as a 5-year-old, you're like,
yeah,
oh,
so I'm talking
that's
like,
not video
like
games.
around 1990 was when
Yeah.
like this stuff was happening. So like NES
Sonic
had been out,
pinball, though.
NES had been out for like a good like
Sonic
5 years.
Spinball.
Yeah.
Merry podcast,
Spinball.
allies.
Okay.
I have a hot new phrase I would like to petition into the EZA meta.
Oof.
We've got context, stakes, verticality, experience, Shrek, and many more I'm jacked about.
Damn it.
But one word has been uber prevalent in nearly all of my gaming/cinematic choices, and that is art direction. Sometimes it's a story that will stick with me or an amazing set piece that raises the bar, but if the art direction is interesting enough, it doesn't matter how old the game is for anyone. A couple of examples for me are Final Fantasy IX, yes, anything by Akira Toriyama, Damiani hates it, and Zelda, Wind Waker. But I don't want to take all the good ones. So I'd love to hear some of the allies' more memorable titles where the art direction was a huge factor in your enjoyment and resonated with you. So much love, too much respect. Ally number 2743, Mumble Mumbleton.
Yes.
Yo, you lied. You
What?
said no Bloodborne questions.
Uh-oh.
Bloodborne
Art
art
direction.
direction.
It will-
baby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Best
The
in the biz.
Dark Souls 1? No. Demon Souls? No. Dark Souls 1? No. Dark Souls 2? No. Bloodborne? Now we're talking.
Whoa, really? So you think art direction is a difference between those 4 games?
That
you
art
just saw?
direction is why I played Bloodborne.
Cool.
Because I was like, here we go. Okay. Like a vacant, lonely fantasy world? Not interested. A vacant, lonely gothic world? Sign me up.
Wow.
Because that inherently should be vacant and creepy looking. And
Great example then.
yeah.
What do you got?
I want to comment on the art direction.
Sure.
So for most of the time I was writing reviews and reading reviews, I felt like, and just not just games but everything, I felt like art direction was played out, like used too often. So I found
Sure.
so I personally found myself using aesthetic. Or the
Aesthetic.
game's aesthetic.
Ooh, that sounds more like an EZA
Because
word.
every IGN review,
Aesthetic.
every EGM review, the art direction in The Wind Waker was absolutely fantastic.
Let's not call out any other. Let's not do that. Don't call out IGN in particular.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't
That's,
remember
that's
that.
what I mean. We don't know, but yeah.
Their
This-
reviews sound like this in my head.
See, I'm not being specific though. I'm being like back in the day,
Sure,
like this,
okay.
like if you worked at IGN, you knew you were getting this stuff. It was a badge of honor.
Okay.
if you were there.
Art
We
direction.
wished we could have worked at an IGM or EGM when we do this type of stuff. That's
Sure.
what we mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. The analogy here is that yes, I felt that art direction. Sorry, not the analogy. The comparison here is that art direction was just being used too much. So I'm like, I gotta think of a different way to say this. Plus, I just remember like during the Miguel Lopez era, I was like, I gotta think of different ways to say
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, you can't get art direction by Miguel.
You cannot just say
Not 2 reviews in a row.
You can't use clinical terms.
Yeah.
The guy's gonna like go, yo, stop being lazy and say what you mean, bro. I'm gonna kill you, man.
See what you mean to say? So aesthetic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Resident
Valkyria Chronicles.
So,
Evil
yes.
remake.
Ooh, there you go. Hero. That's nice.
Valkyria Chronicles is definitely one.
Yeah.
Definitely one.
Helps
Holy
sell
crap.
the game. Helps sell the vibes of the game.
Oh, yes. I used to get into arguments with a certain someone at Game Trailers about this. I'm trying to remember the game we were arguing about. Like, it was for GOTY. It was for best graphics or whatever.
Best graphics.
And I was
used to be a
making the
category,
art direction aesthetic argument. and it was for Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. I was trying to make the argument. I was like, this is anime in
I like where
motion.
you're going.
I wasn't
Anime
here at
in
the time.
motion.
This
Yeah.
is good work,
And someone told me,
Well done.
there's no way Naruto looks better than like some Call of Duty type game. I
Sure.
was like, ah.
But like Kirby's Yarn Adventure, what was that?
Kirby's Epic
Kirby's
Yarn?
Epic Yarn.
Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yoshi Woolly-
That won at GT one year.
Eventually,
best graphics.
yeah, we did that.
That's not best graphics. That's aesthetic. I hear you.
Yeah. You graphics and art direction are
Very
graphics
different.
is more clinical for technical stuff.
Yeah.
like that's like technical achievement in movies or whatever. Where
Yeah.
art direction is like how what is the aesthetic? Like it's more subjective. Okay, I agree with that.
Super Mario 3D World.
World.
Ooh,
Really?
Yep.
I don't.
Yep.
I don't agree
Here's
with
where you're
that.
losing me, Huber.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm falling.
No, dude.
Oh,
I won't hear it, guys.
I'm slipping through the cracks
Fall
now.
No.
Tell us why
Ben
that's a
Moore,
good.
gave me the best advice I'd ever heard because he got it from Patrick Morales, and he said sometimes you just need to know that people are wrong. So,
Just need to accept that, know it,
so it's fine, guys.
live it.
So we're just wrong.
You guys are wrong.
Sorry.
3D World? Are you kidding? It's so jolly. What is bad about 3D World? Those boo houses?
The boo
Are
houses
you
are great.
kidding?
Nobody's knocking the
Dude,
boo
the
houses.
huge level with like the beach and there's just like
The sunset.
mile. Like, come
Yeah, yeah.
on,
The
guys.
sunsets are
Have
great.
you
Yeah.
played-
Champions Road looked beautiful.
Super Mario Sunshine.
Aesthetic.
Was aesthetic. Of
Now
course.
we're talking
They're all
aesthetic.
Paper Mario.
Okay, they're all amazing. I was even going to say Galaxy, but I just wanted to say 3D World because I knew you guys.
I actually don't think
I took the bait. I
Gal-
took the bait.
Galaxy is like a good looking game, but I don't think it's the aesthetic
Yeah.
that drives that
3D
game. Honestly,
World, guys.
I don't think.
Come on.
I think 3D World's a solid looking game, but I wouldn't praise its aesthetic. Sorry.
I'll take that Wind Waker bait though.
Oh yeah.
Like I laughed at Wind Waker, man. When he was on that chandelier and winked, I was like,
Okay.
"What?
Wait a second.
Like this has to be a joke."
that
Is the
reveal,
dumbest
though.
looking Link I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
And then I like finished Wind Waker and I was like, "That is one of my favorite Links ever. Like that's amazing."
You're talking about the
And
reveal.
I am actively animating this.
actually changed a lot
character
from the
Yes,
reveal.
because
personality.
when they first revealed it,
Yeah.
we're talking about the infamous video where
Yeah.
Miyamoto's on a podium and it shows it, and he just like winks.
And all the hogs like, "Ah!"
Yeah, so
they all fall over
that
and like,
looked atrocious to me. That looked horrible, and it did not look good. What the Wind Waker ended up being, though, looked way better in my opinion. That was that
Sure.
tech demo or whatever it was so simplistic. I was like, this is gonna be bad. Like they look like paper cutouts in some of the scenes. I was like, this. Oh no, this can't be Zelda. And I saw the Wind Waker trailer finally, like the following year. I was like, okay, there's more color. This looks a little more like a cartoon. Okay, this looks way better than like. Remember they kept adjusting his hair? It looked all goofy and curly and stuff at
It was
first, and then
effed.
they kind of made it. It went through.
If you can find that video, it's not easy to find.
Oh, it's easy to find.
What would you type in?
To find the original
The reveal,
reveal?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, just go type in the Wind Waker reveal or Space World 2001.
It wasn't even called Wind Waker at that
World.
point.
Just type in Space
World.
World Space World 2001 Wind Waker.
Okay, all right.
People still label it as X. They know what it was called after
Sure.
the fact.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Another good one.
But no, I totally agree with you on that. Looked
total reversal.
ugh.
Yeah.
Got one for you, Jones.
Oh
Ooh.
boy.
You didn't really like the game, but I think you'll agree with me.
Oh,
Oh.
Alien Isolation.
Oh, here we go.
Sure.
Art direction.
yeah. But tricky because it's a they're bringing a something that was already
Existing
built,
property.
an existing property to life. So the art direction being make it look good is tough for art directions. Like, but yeah, that is one of the game's best qualities. Is that there's like a sheet of metal. I'm like, whoa, like what you know.
Really good use of shadow and
Yeah.
light. Too.
An environment that if you saw in a movie, you'd be like sci-fi schlock. I've seen a million hallways like that, but you like make it, realize it with that, especially the lighting. It's just like, oh man, it's like yeah, good looking game.
Last
And
one.
I
I
didn't
got-
mean to
looking,
offend
boring
you guys
game.
with 3D World. It's okay if you guys don't like it.
It's okay if you
Yeah.
like it. We forgive you for liking.
I don't
that
like
game.
Isolation. He doesn't like 3D. We're all still friends. Love and respect. baby.
Mega Man Legends.
Mega Man Legends.
Incredible aesthetic. One seldom duplicated.
One of the greats.
This idea of applying pixel art to polygons is so appealing to me. The faces in that game still hold up.
If anyone is out there listening that makes video games, Mega Man Legends. Mm-hmm. If you don't own the property, just make it and change some names. Anyone out
don't,
there?
Hubert. That's what Red Ash is. Don't.
Okay,
Don't
John.
do that.
Okay. But what if it was great?
If Red Ash might be great, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's a tough aesthetic to nail. Yeah, that's a cool question. It is.
Tales games, just because like they're technically not very impressive looking at all.
But
They're
they
always
feel good
very
to be in
simple.
there, yeah.
Hesperia.
But they do,
Archer.
yeah.
Oh.
But like, just any game that has learned to do that, like, I feel like Japanese games can get away with a little bit more when they go for the anime look.
Star
Because
Ocean looked pretty
because
good.
they can use a little bit more simplistic models. That if they didn't do that like anime aesthetic for it, if you try to make it look Western style, like a little bit more like real life mature, it would look bad.
Yeah.
Like they're the on the technical level, it would not hold a candle to some of the stuff you see put out by Western developers. So that's one thing I've always just kind of like noticed.
I think a huge differentiator of Street Fighter V is its aesthetic.
Oh yeah, Five's aesthetic is.
Are you doing a thumbs down?
I don't like Five's aesthetic.
I think it is the reason why the game is successful.
I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
I guess I like the older Street Fighters more. Like
I mean, I think there's a lot of overlap between it and Street Fighter 4. I think that Street Fighter has an aesthetic, you know what I mean, that you don't see in Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat, which are closer to like this dark realism. Obviously, neither of them are realistic, but closer to how you see other games look. Street Fighter does go more comic booky, more cartoony, brighter colors, bigger fists, less realistic proportions, and I think it pays off. I think that's why that game gets to be on ESPN almost.
It doesn't look like anything else.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. Before we forget, real quick, Vanillaware, Owensphere, and Muramasa.
You can just say Vanillaware. Absolutely, yeah.
Vanillaware.
Yeah.
Vanillaware games. Yes, thank you. Like that stuff looks amazing.
They have a game coming out that's got mechs in it that's still like not around. When is that happening?
Crap. I don't
I don't know.
remember.
All I want, Kyle,
Huh.
is another Dragon's Crown.
Another
That
Dragon's
game
Crown.
deserves a sequel. Make it happen, Vanillaware.
Make it happen.
Can I drop another aesthetic thing, a groan-worthy aesthetic call?
Uh-oh, you're going to make us groan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney Infinity.
Disney Infinity.
Just because of how hard that is. Like, I gotta hand it to that team of taking a live action character
Yeah.
and a computer animated character and a hand drawn character and making that work.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
To have 3 Johnny Depps in there and like, wow, they actually are all kind of unique characters, but fit in with this thing.
And also toys. And also
Yeah.
function as toys and look identical to their toy versions.
And an aesthetic that fans picked up immediately. They were like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what they look like? Well, here's what Indy would look like. Here's what Wolverine would look like. Here's
Yeah.
what, the fan creations are like, they hurt so much because you're like, Deadpool, they did it, just do it. Like, they nailed it.
You know who's got a sick aesthetic now that I think about it? Kingdom Hearts 2. Just as you
Just in
said, they
general?
pull them in. You go to Pirates of the Caribbean world in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I'm glad you said I was thinking
perfect.
about that because Brad, his number one thing, like his number one draw to a video game is art style.
Yeah.
It's that is what gets Brad going the most. If you want to
Yeah.
sell him on a game, you give him a good art style that he loves.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, one of those games.
Mouth watering. All right, we should move on to our next question.
Yeah, his mouth's watering right now.
Ooh, you know what?
We're talking about him. He knows. He's like, oh, Kingdom Hearts.
Every week I say I would like your topics, questions, and games. Most people give questions. Some give games. Very few people just do a flat-out statement.
All right.
And I got one here that I like a lot. Here we go. This is from Mipe.
Mipe.
I want to file a pledge to attribute the Master Troll of the Year award to Fumito Ueda, rewarding his groundbreaking All Talked Out trophy. Creating a trophy that can only be achieved by waiting or meditating for the narrator to give you a hint in practically every small segment of the game is a splendid achievement in trolling to start with. Creating such a trophy for a game that has been in development since 2007 and took almost 10 years to make establishes a new level of meta trolling. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, designing the trophy in a way that not a single person managed to unlock it up until now is a testament to pure, masterful genius, just like The Last Guardian itself. Take a bow, Fumito Ueda, and extend our warmest and most heartfelt greetings to fellow Master Troll Hideo Kojima when you rightfully enter the everlasting halls of trolling excellence. Love that. So for some context for you all, this is a trophy that had 0.0% when I looked at my trophies afterward. I was like, how has no one seen all of the hints? Apparently, the way to do it is to go through every small portion of the game, hang out until eventually the narrator says, and then I did this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a trophy, but it makes sense.
So the idea of putting this
hilarious.
trophy in the thing where you have to wait, you have to spend so much time in this game that took so long to come out anyway. What a fun comment.
Real good one.
Love that.
Real good.
You get the award. Like, I read that comment, I was like, who could this possibly be? And I was like, oh, wait, huh? Why? And then I was like, oh, you really justified that. I do wonder if that trophy is a troll. I wonder if that trophy is intended to be as awful as it is.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar enough with Ueda, the man.
Right,
Yeah.
that
I know
he
that.
actually cares to actually, like, establish
Yeah.
the trophies? Yeah, I wonder it as well.
Crazy.
I
Crazy.
don't know about that.
All right, Damiani's not convinced. Do we want to play a game?
Yeah.
Maybe
Ooh.
it's just one of those trophies. It's like, yo, there's dialogue here being unlocked by waiting around to get the platinum trophy in this game. You need to hear and see everything.
You do. I mean, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But to do that, you just have to hang out
Yeah.
for long periods of time.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a game that I really wanted to play. I'm going to tell you about this game, and then, ooh, a scratch at the door. Who could that be? Okay, should we let Sophie in?
No, she's. That means Sophie went on a walk with Amanda and then came back through the side gate.
Okay.
And once the side gate was open, she ran immediately to the back.
Okay, she's huffing and puffing. Okay, so this is the game I wanted to play. I'll explain why we can't. Hey guys, how about this for a game? Let's find out who has the best, most anticipated list with the 2017 video game draft. Usual draft rules apply for the most part. Decide who drafts where with a D20 roll. No duplicate games on different teams. Each of the guests has to fill out a roster for 2017. You must fill one of each position. The positions are best Switch game, best PS4 game, Xbox One game, VR game, and multi-platform game.
Whoa.
You could get the dudes to make up team names prior, which would be fun. Get the guys or patrons to vote on whose team would win the competition if all the teams faced off. There would be trophies. Thank you all for fighting the good fight and keeping positive. As always, love and respect from Rainy Wales, Dan. Now, obviously, I love fantasy football. Obviously, I think this is a genius idea. However, this has already been done on Sifted by Shane Satterfield. And I think it's genius. He does it every year. He does a video game draft. And
Good
so
on
I
you.
wanted to do this.
Reviewed games.
What's up?
For highest reviewed games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They take like the meta scores and things like
Yeah.
that, and at the end of the year say like who won.
Yeah.
Love that idea and really good execution. Like it's not actually that particular the way that Sifted does, but wanted to like promote Sifted for a genius idea. Check out how they do it because it is super cool. I'm so sad I didn't think of it first. But yeah, the cool idea for a game. And also I wanted to say on this podcast, if you want to try that with your friends, I think it'd be so fun to do with friends.
Yeah.
To do a draft with each other. And that idea of the positions is really fun to me too.
Yeah.
Oh, genius. And I wonder if you can like have waiver wires even. I don't want to get too far into it because I think it's so fun. But oh well.
New
Okay.
trailer comes out. You're like, I want to trade.
Yeah, I want to trade. Exactly. I'll trade you. Oh my
Very cool.
god.
It's very cool.
Dude, I'll trade you God of War for Horizon. Oh, that's
This
so
trailer
good.
made me uneasy. I want to trade.
Yeah. All right, here's a game we are playing. This one's called Miyamoto or No. I want to change it to Miyamoto or Miyamono. Okay?
Excellent.
All right, we'll do Miyamoto or
Wow,
No.
you're so clever.
Miyamoto.
All right, Damiani didn't like it.
I
So it's
love
called
it.
Miyamoto or No. I have 6 quotes from Shigeru Miyamoto matched up with 6 made-up quotes. Both of these pairs will be read, and you have to decide which is Miyamoto and which isn't. Thanks for all you do. I enjoy listening, watching to you whilst I do my freelance design work. You've really helped in game purchasing decisions and brightening my days. Love and respect, Ben Bernard Smith. Okay, here we go. Quotes. Number 1, here's our first pairing. The Tanuki suit. Now, where did that come from? I used to chase the raccoon dogs in the forests near my house growing up, which were known as Tanukis. I liked the idea of Mario becoming one, as then I could imagine chasing Mario. Or, so you know cats are interesting. They are kind of like girls. If they come and talk to you, it's great. But if you try to talk to them, it doesn't always go so well. Which one was the real quote?
Tanuki suit.
God, these are all going to be tricks. Yeah. It's like find 5 really, really bizarre Miyamoto quotes.
And Ben like matches the voice. That's why I picked this
tie
one.
them to like
It's like, wow, you really matched that
something
voice.
that like write
Yeah.
a good thing for him to say. Mm-hmm. But I that girls thing I just can't. Yeah, I'll go with Tanuki on this one.
Damiani?
Go with the cat quote was Miyamoto. I felt like the Tanuki one was Tezuka.
Whoa. So yeah, the cat one is Miyamoto. I remember it from Nintendogs and Cats.
What, dude? Really? So the other one's made up?
No, it's a
I think the other one's made up.
Really
is?
good. You really
Yeah.
got me with.
Well, I mean, he's playing.
Now, where did
it's
that
a,
come from?
It's a play on
that
Zelda.
sounded like so
Yeah.
Because
Miyamoto.
Miyamoto's inspiration for Zelda was stuff he did in his childhood.
yeah.
So that's why I was like, that's not Miyamoto.
This was a
because-
masterfully designed game.
So okay, so the
It's
quotes,
not going to get easier from here.
So the other quotes are made up. Then they're not real.
Correct.
Yeah, completely made
I'm
up.
gonna stop wasting time. and
Ben
thinking
made them
about
up.
them. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that quote. Actually, remember that one I would have known. I remember that quote at the time. So funny. Okay, here we go. Second set. F-Zero GX shows that if a game gives you lots quickly, the player will overlook the bad design and be fooled into thinking the game is well made. Or,
No way he said that.
Donkey Kong Country proves that players will put up with mediocre gameplay as long as the art is good.
Ouch.
One of those two
the
is
hell?
one of those two is real.
How is that? How are either of those
going last.
real?
What are you going with?
No, I want to go last.
Oh, okay. Jones.
I think they have 0 quotes. Yeah.
Huber.
I'll go Donkey Kong.
I'm gonna say F-Zero because there's that infamous thing about Miyamoto trashing F-Zero GX, and everyone got angry at him.
There's also an infamous thing about Miyamoto repeatedly trashing on Donkey Kong Country.
Ooh, so it is that.
He does not dig it. So Huber, you got that one.
nice.
Wow.
That is the correct one. Isn't that funny? We were just talking about
What a
aesthetics and art
harsh
direction.
quote.
Huber rolling his eyes at Donkey
Yeah.
because it's like Donkey Kong Country is cool, Miyamoto. Like
Yeah,
why?
why
So
is he like...
he said, so that means he said both games aren't good then.
Why? So the F-Zero's that's a
Oh,
real
he
thing.
trashed Sega.
Oh my
He-
God.
Like people
So
like you're
mean.
What a
insane.
masterfully
Miyamoto.
crafted
Like you're just
troll
jealous
game
that
we're
Sega
playing.
made a better
Yeah.
F-Zero game than Nintendo's ever made. I was like, come on, Miyamoto,
Wow.
get real.
I'm like hurt. I'm hurt.
Here we go, another set. We have 6 sets, by the way. I could make Halo. It's not that I couldn't design the game, it's just that I choose not to. Or, I've played Grand Theft Auto and it interested me very much. It gave me a unique perspective on where the industry is. Whilst I enjoyed the supposed freedom the game gave for me, I actually felt there were more constrictions in the gameplay than people realized.
I don't know about that whilst. I don't know about that. Some strange translation there.
I'll go Halo.
Seems like a very specific... Yeah, I go Halo.
Damiani, which one's real?
Both seem vaguely familiar. I'll go with Halo because that GTA one is just too long-winded.
Oh, Ben, you didn't trick him this time. It is the Halo one.
Yeah.
Whilst.
Yeah,
I can
well,
make
Good
Halo.
call,
It's
Thomas.
not that I couldn't design that game. It's just that I chose not to.
That's incredible.
Where's the source on that? I mean, I assume that's a real quote that's out there.
Sure.
It sounds older that it might be a mistranslation.
Also,
or a
yeah, out of
made-up
context
one.
on that one, maybe not that bitter as it sounds. Like,
Sure.
I could
Yeah.
make first-person shooting games.
Yeah. All right. Let's
But,
give him the benefit of
Because
the doubt.
there's sorry, in all my
Yeah.
sleuthing in the years, there's lots of accepted quotes out there that are popular that actually are
Yeah.
BS.
You're
made
right,
up.
though. You're 100%
Yeah.
right about that.
But I mean, if this could be a real quote that's out there, it's attributed to Miyamoto.
Yeah.
So I think that still falls fair game for this game.
Oh, yeah.
Context.
Set number 4.
Just don't get too worked up over what was said.
I don't want to criticize any other designers, but I have to say that many of the people involved in this industry, directors and producers, are trying to make their games more like movies. They are longing to make movies rather than making video games. Or, when making The Wind Waker, Anuma-san and I were very intrigued by films being made at the time. We realized with the new technology that we can make the player experience things similar to what you would experience in the cinema, but I reminded Anuma-san that gameplay comes first.
Jesus. I'll give you some insight. So
Oh, whoa.
Miyamoto does not
Phone a friend.
Miyamoto has been weird. During Star Fox 64, he said He liked that game had a cinematic feel because technology caught up that they can make stuff that felt like movies. Mm-hmm. But every time after that, he's been gone on record saying he doesn't like story in games so much. He doesn't like story prioritizing over gameplay, and he doesn't like games that try to be movies. And he's actually been, I don't know if it's a misquote or not, but he's been attributed as saying like he doesn't like games being viewed as art. So I don't know if that it was ultimately proven as not. So the timing of this, saying the Wind Waker, I know a lot of the Wind Waker interview stuff, but it's mostly about timeline shit, not that. That one, if you'd said emotion or expression, I would have believed it because they were completely focused on that. But the other one, oh, damn it.
This is a good game.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
god.
going with the anti-movie one, the first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Read the anti-movie one again. No, I just need to see if it gave a time period.
I don't want to criticize any other designers, but I have to say that many of the people involved in this industry, directors and producers, are trying to make their games more like movies. They are longing to make movies rather than making video games.
I'm an Audible. I'm switching. I'm going back. I'm going Zelda.
See, that's,
Okay,
like,
Huber's
that,
switching.
that's his thoughts, but I don't think he would actually say it like that. Damn it.
I need you to pull the trigger, Damiani.
Oh, God.
Pull it.
Pull the trigger.
Pull it.
Who are you going to shoot? Who are you going to shoot,
Read the Wind
Damiani?
Waker one more time.
When making The Wind Waker, Numa-san and I were very intrigued by films being made at the time. We realized with the new technology that we can make the player experience things similar to what you would experience in the cinema. But I reminded Anuma-san that gameplay comes first.
I'm going to go with the first quote.
The first one is right.
Oh,
Hubert,
Because he
you
would,
got talked out of it.
it was the thing that him and Anuma-san both looked at films.
Yeah.
Historically, Anuma and Miyamoto butt heads a lot. I don't think they would have done stuff together and agreed on it.
Also weird not to mention a specific film.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
you know, movies at the time. Like,
So actually, I think it's really cool. I read what were they called? I forgot what they're called. Iwata Asks, of course, about Ocarina. And how when they were trying to design the Z targeting and like the fighting system, like how do we do sword fights in 3D? You know, they had no idea. They would go watch movies.
Yes.
And that's why Z targeting was made. And so I think that's so fascinating. We could use more of that. Just like, how do we do that? It's like, I don't know, just look at movies. They do, they got it. Movies they put in some work. Okay.
You know, they did more of those, not What I Ask, obviously, but they did more of those same style of group interviews for NES Classic.
Oh,
They,
man, I gotta look at those.
They have like Metroid, Balloon Fight, Zelda. I learned something new about Zelda in that one that
No
was previously
way.
unknown. Yeah.
Okay.
So good
What do they
stuff
call
in
them?
there. They're just like NES Classic developer interviews.
Developer interviews. Okay.
They have a preface saying we used to do a What I Ask. These are kind of the similar thing.
Okay, I'll check that out.
I've been noticing that there's lots of game developers putting text in their games. What do they want to write? Books?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jones. Yeah.
Jealous.
I always ask myself when making a game, what will the player want? What will they feel what will they feel they will need? Then we start to ask ourselves, can we meet those desires? Yes, that is where we start from. All the time, or all the time, players are forced to do their utmost. If they are challenged to the limit, is it really fun for them?
That one.
Yeah, I get the second one.
Damiani?
Although utmost is
We say
again the
first one
translation
again.
trickiness.
I always ask myself when making a game, what will the player want? What will they feel they will need? Then we start to ask ourselves, can we meet those desires? Yes, that is where we start from.
Yeah, I'm that one actually. Oh, I wouldn't
Sorry.
screw myself again.
That just doesn't feel like a Miyamoto game to me.
Well, here's the thing. That quote is reminding me because Miyamoto once gave a Japanese student who was making a game about vampire game where you push the button to suck blood. And he gave this whole thing about like how pushing down on the button like a player, that's not correct to a player's mind because sucking is an action of pulling out, not pushing in. So the pushing down the button would like confuse, like wasn't what the player subconsciously wants. Think of a different way to do the mechanic. Maybe you let go of it, and that's how you push it to bite, and then let go to suck. And he was like, but he was just like postulating this to the student. Like, think about game design that way, like what the player wants. Like, I'm getting so annoyed right now. He's just like, he's like, why? He doesn't like Miyamoto. I can tell.
It's perfectly fine to press a button to suck blood.
I'm going
Oh
with
my god.
one. They both probably be right, but I'll go with one. First one.
One is false. Ben gotcha. Jones wins. All the time, players are forced to do their utmost. That was his actual quote.
Utmost.
Jeez.
Utmost.
I don't know about that one.
All right, final set. Here we go. It isn't about games for me personally, and it never really was. It was about creating something, anything, far bigger than yourself. Or, I like playing guitar and I like making video games. It would be hard for me to choose between the two of them.
That one. I'm going
That's
with
so strangely specific.
I'm
Yeah.
going with it.
I'll go with number 2.
Yep.
Oh, I feel
2.
even stronger about my choice
All
now.
three of you go two?
Yes.
All three of you are wrong.
Oh.
Good.
Can you? Ben killed this.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, what a trickster.
I mean, he likes guitar. He does.
He does, yeah. So you use the knowledge that you already have. It isn't about making games
isn't
for
about
me
making
personally, and it
games.
never really
I want
was.
to know the source of that quote.
Yeah, because come on, really?
Saying bigger than himself does not
Yeah.
sound like him.
He wants to be a Beatle when he says that. You know, like, no, it
Sounds
was
like-
about
that sounds-
making
I
games.
bet that was done in a European outlet and
Yeah.
it's slightly mistranslated.
Fun game, though. Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course, we can't really...
But good work.
Yeah.
I think Jones won
You
that.
should do more April Fool's jokes, Ben. Write up fake interviews and post them on April Fool's.
Because they're so accurate.
claiming
Just
someone's
like nails the voice.
like post a tweet saying
Ben, do it
Someone
with
said
Kyle
something.
Bossman.
Watch your whilsts, though.
Kyle
Yeah.
Bossman.
Yeah.
Like, did Kyle Bossman say this, yes or no?
We learned that you should not use whilst.
yeah.
That was our lesson. Oh, that's a fun one. I don't want to... That was just fun. We had a fun game, so I want to actually do a hard one. I got too many of these. I got too many.
Hard game.
No, not a hard game, but like a hard question.
Yeah.
Like a one that challenges you as
Controversy.
video game
I think
critics.
we got most of those wrong, so it was pretty
Hey,
hard.
Jones got like 4 of them.
Check the tape.
Ooh, a lot of these are just nice. Okay, that one might be tough. Okay, here we
Something
go.
Be nice and can also be difficult.
This one starts. This is a really funny way to start. Okay, this comes from Robert Seven Lee. I read a post on NeoGAF, created by Jonah 3003. That's hilarious already. Titled, "Why isn't free online a selling point?" This got me thinking. I owned a PS3 last generation mainly because it had free online gaming. Constantly teased my friends who owned Xbox 360 by saying things like, "Wait, you actually pay cash to play online?" Or, "Not in-game currency, but actual money?" Or, "They make you pay actual hard-earned cash after having bought the game and paying for broadband. On top of that, you're actually willing to pay more just to do something you've been doing for free on PC for so many years?" Or, "You almost had me with that one. No one would ever be that stupid. I milked that and I loved it." In 2013, the unthinkable happened. My biggest gaming heartbreak. The PS4 required PlayStation Plus to play online. The crowd in the audience were still cheering about the price. I had to lie down, almost speechless. Been gaming on PC since.
Stick it to the man.
Switch.
Made the switch. And just bought PS4 Pro, but I will never pay for online gaming, which seems to have become the norm. I'm not annoyed at Microsoft or Sony, but very disappointed with gamers for allowing this to happen. Games are a luxury, which gives us the power. Sony and Microsoft need us more than we need them. We could have made a difference. Launching around the release of two of the biggest multiplayer games, Call of Duty Ghosts and Battlefield 4, probably didn't help. I've noticed even with gamers choosing to pay for online with the PS4, their online service hasn't drastically improved. I still get better download speeds with Steam, which is much faster to navigate than on the PlayStation Store. I am biased regarding this subject. What do the allies think? Do you believe the subscription charges justified? Where was the media outcry and backlash for Sony online paywall? Why do you think this has become the norm with console gamers? Would there be an outcry if Nintendo followed suit with the Switch, or would there be joy assuming Nintendo would improve their online service? Thank you for reading. Boom. What a comment. Wanted to give you a tough one.
Terrible download speeds on PlayStation. It sucks.
Yeah, PlayStation Network
Such a
speeds are
bust.
trash.
Mm-hmm.
They're very bad.
But I feel like I make the money back in PlayStation Plus games usually. Like, I play a lot of the PlayStation Plus games. So I feel like the value's there. Yeah, you play. Like,
Do you honestly, Huber? I don't hear it in your voice.
Yeah,
You feel like the value is there. $60 a year.
it's a lot. I look at it like it's the price of one full game.
Okay.
And I'm getting more value than one full game off of it in a year. Absolutely. It's one game a year. And there's so many Plus games that I've played over the years. So many games that I would have never played unless they were Plus games. And Kyle, we always talk about this. You're saying, the Plus games aren't free. They're not really free.
They're a subscription.
I know the whole weird lines are blurred there.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like I get more than $60 of value a year. Didn't you tally up the numbers? The value, the money of
I don't do
games?
that, but they definitely publish those.
Yeah.
It's crazy to look at. But
Thousands.
here's how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Is that to me it's weird if it would be free. It costs money to run these networks.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're so used to paying for Netflix, we're used to paying for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get the idea that, you had it for free on PC and you had it for free on PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get how it is free. I don't get how those things could possibly be run without making money on top of it. It's crazy to me that Nintendo does it for free.
And that's why Nintendo Internet's the worst.
Yeah, because during the Wii,
The worst.
they used the GameSpy servers back before
They
they
did.
shut down.
Yes.
I have no idea what they use now. Actually, I forgot who they went with. But I don't know. Like,
Would you pay money for Nintendo's online if you knew it was going to be better?
no, because now a lot of their games don't like. It's just mostly just competitive multiplayer. There's no comprehensive stuff
What do
that
you
I
mean?
feel like.
Smash Bros.
No, like that's just like that's just
Mario Kart.
straight. I'm talking. Okay, I guess I'm getting two things confused here.
Okay.
I'm trying to compare what you're saying. Like I get there's the service.
Yes.
Which I don't know why you have to pay so much just for the service to get access to play online multiplayer. I think it should be lower cost probably.
Sure.
I think they bundle it in with this stuff to charge more.
Yeah.
Kind of like Amazon Prime, like, hey, here's free shipping all this stuff. But like pay $90-$100 for like the service or whatever. Oh, but we'll throw in like 3 Prime videos and stuff, whatever like that. These bundled things, they make it seem like value.
Yeah.
What I'm mistakenly comparing it to, so where people know where I was coming from, I was comparing it to a subscription-based service for a game like an MMO, where you pay like a monthly subscription because you're getting content constantly updated with that. So like Mario Kart, they might do a random, like even Smash Bros. They did a few. They did like the patches and stuff like that. Like a few of those. They added new characters, but they charge for those. Like I understand like that. Like if there was a paid service for Smash Brothers, but we're gonna guarantee you new characters, new stages every 3 months, like stuff like they did the season pass for like Hyrule Warriors, like that type of stuff. But that's a per game basis.
Yeah.
I have more trouble paying for a lot for just the access to even doing that in the first place. Like here's simple, like here's Street Fighter 5. All you do is you're just gonna play like a versus match against people there, but you gotta pay if that's only game you're ever gonna play on your PlayStation 4 or whatever Xbox One. I gotta pay for PlayStation Plus for a year or for that month to gain access to that just to play somebody online. Is that really worth whatever the monthly cost is? Like,
And I do wonder what the back end cost is. How much
yeah.
does it cost Sony for us to play Street Fighter 5? I wonder that because I mean on the PC somebody's paying for it. It's not me. I'm not paying Steam to play it on my PC.
Like think of all the Steam games you can play, like multiplayer. It's like, I mean, I don't know. Like that's probably a bigger question that someone with more knowledge would, I think, needs to give us more insight into
it's
the
a
cost
ridiculous
of the
extra
servers.
cost. Like
But,
I've spent
It is.
yeah.
$180 right now on PlayStation Plus.
What?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
been
so-
3 years.
All 3 years.
Well, I
For
guess
me,
I
I'm
guess
not-
it got a little reduced price on the first 2 years, but yeah.
Again, I'm not complaining yet because I feel like in 3 years I've gotten thousands of dollars worth of games. Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess that'd be how you would defend it, and that's why, yeah.
It is what it is.
And so if Nintendo was to do something similar, was to charge for online, they would have to do something similar where they include games, basically.
Yeah.
That or it's just really way cheaper than everything. Like,
Sure, like $30 a year.
Yeah, like the equivalent of like $2 or even less, like $2 or $3 a month tops to like 24 between $20 to $30 something dollars a
With
year.
the whole PS4 Pro and all this shit, I wouldn't be surprised if next year we get some PS Plus Pro where it's like, you want
God.
faster download speeds? $80 a year.
Don't
Pay
worry
up.
about that.
Yeah, it's coming.
What do you mean don't worry about that?
That might come, regardless of anything that Sony does.
Whoa, insider knowledge.
Whoa,
here?
insider knowledge.
That
sounded
this
very
has nothing to do
like-
with insider knowledge.
Okay.
I
Don't worry about
that.
don't want to get into the
Very
subject because we
Yeah.
evolve it. We avoid it in most of our stuff at EZA. There's another reason that has nothing to do with video games that could cause your stuff to cost more for access.
Oh, he's talking ISPs.
Fast lanes and stuff like that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
There you go. That's
Gotcha,
what I was
Damiani.
referring to.
Screw you, Time Warner. Jones.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this, man. Are you cool with paying for PlayStation Plus?
I was, yeah. I mean, for years, I remember Patrick
Where's the
Morales
outrage?
was a big. I remember he was the first person to like bring it up to me, and I was like, wait. Oh yeah, wait. I guess you don't play anything because I was like 99% of the stuff I played was on 360, and so this was how it worked. You know, like I didn't really do a whole. I did the GameSpy Halo 1 servers and played that multiplayer. I played Halo 2 multiplayer a little bit. Like didn't do Resident Evil Outbreak. Didn't do SOCOM. didn't do a lot of like online stuff in that era.
Yeah.
So then like when I was like HD era right out of the gate, I was like, yeah, shut up and take my money, whatever I need to make the whole thing work. And so it really took like an outside perspective to be like, why? Why are you spending that money? It's like, because I have to.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but what are you getting out of that? The only thing I can think of is as somebody who's like managing money coming in from different sources and trying to apply that to other budgets, I wonder if it kind of simplifies the process. Because like you were saying, you're like, where's that money? I would get this stuff on Steam. Where's that money coming from? It's like, well, it's coming from other places. It's like you are spending money for these services and you are giving money to people for other stuff. They're just allocating that money and spending it on other things. Whereas if what Sony might have realized at that point is like, well, now we know all the money that's coming in for this, all that, you know, that $60 is going right into those server costs, is going right into us figuring out, based on the money that we get in, what how important is it to get certain exclusives, to get, you know, like clearly Microsoft is destroying, as we said last week,
With
you know, the free games that they're getting.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Sony was like, oh, you know, we don't need to make that huge push in December. That game we were planning on making free in December, let's save that to February because we've seen the numbers. You know, if the PSN subscribers go down that month or something, there's just more of like a one-to-one connection you can make with money coming in versus money spending specifically on servers.
Yeah.
I'm triggered now.
You're triggered
thinking about all this.
Yeah.
You'd think $60 a year would let you change your PSN name, but I guess that's a little too much to ask.
Well, it
They
is.
said it's a huge
That's like impossible
technical issue because it's rooted in.
I know.
Yeah.
We need a reboot.
Still.
They need a reboot if we're ever going
What
to
are we
change our
paying
names.
for? What are we paying for?
I would.
PS Plus games we don't ask for in the first place. Devil's Advocate. I'm not asking for
what?
these games.
Yeah, like
I don't want stories.
I just-
Legends Untold. What is
you can
it?
just give me that monthly subscription where you get access to your entire catalog of old games.
Don't even.
Or you should be able to have a
Yeah.
reduced cost, maybe half the price, like different tiers, different options.
Mm-hmm.
We not have options for a consumer. What if I don't want PS Plus games, but I just want to play the games I own online?
Here's how you do this. You do it like a popcorn at a movie theater. So it'd be like $55 for that.
I know.
And so like, $5 extra bucks, you get all these free games. That's how you do it, so it's that easy.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Do they not? Is either Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus done a thing where you could, if you subscribe to? I know they've done price hikes. Do they do anything like cable companies where it's like there's a discounted price for like a few, like year one, but then you know it's going to go up? Do you think? Or do you think it's ever going to get to that point? Like where it's like, hey, yo, $39.99 for PlayStation Plus for new users now for a year subscription. Year 2 jacks it up to $60.
Well, no, that's why like people. That's a big thing is Black Friday buying PS Plus for the
cards.
year.
Oh yeah.
It's like, dang, I should have bought like 2 or 3 years. Just doubled down on that.
Oh, I heard
Back when
get
They were like
cheaper?
40 bucks.
Oh,
You're
They were
getting,
so
like,
cheap back then.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Here we go. Hey, allies, my whole life, I've never had a social circle who did more than tolerate video games. Which is all right, since I have the allies to fill that void for me.
Yeah, we got you.
But recently, I've run into a bit of a dilemma. My roommate has always been enthusiastically supportive of whatever I do or am into. He's a really great guy, and I'm glad I'm friends with him. I've been able to introduce him to great games like Wind Waker and Darkest Dungeon, but
Nice.
his newfound joy for games has spilled into my life in a way that I didn't expect or know how to deal with. He has this habit of shouting and cheering at the games a little too aggressively. Example, no spoilers. I had just gone through a playthrough of The Last Guardian and was loving it. I felt the quiet bond with Trico. He was more of a fellow traveler than some relationship between man and beast. I start coming to the last hour or two of the game when my roommate walks in and starts saying things like, "Ooh, "Whoa, what a cute doggy!" and shouting at the screen during cutscenes, commenting on everything that was going on. I still enjoyed the game very much, but this really soured my experience.
Oh my god.
Talking during the movie.
Yeah, it is.
How would you recommend
It
approaching someone with this
absolutely-
kind of aggressive enthusiasm? Last thing I would want to do is hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
But I don't want to
shit.
sit through an experience like that again.
No, yeah, you're.
Alan Canlick, P.S.
No, never bring this up with him ever.
I don't like to
ever,
play favorites.
Ever.
But Sophie's the best ally.
Don't ever. Oh, all right.
Yep.
I'd say,
Because you're giving him ammunition.
What?
Anything you say, any kind of. Well, I was just really into the game at that moment, and I would really appreciate it, if you, hadn't, joked about it while I was like in that ending. It's like you're basically just being like, the next time you want to make fun of me, say this.
Oh, I
And
don't
like,
think they have that
okay,
kind of
thanks.
relationship, though.
And then
I don't think they have that.
we have that relationship. We all
and
get
I-
along really well, and
Yeah,
I'm waiting for ammunition. Like
Sure,
anytime
sure,
something
sure.
comes
All
up, it's like, oh, I'll write that one down. Yeah. What did you do when you were 8? Got it.
Or like Huber saying, like, I will not watch a Dodgers game, and I'm like, ooh, a bet time. Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so it's not like, oh, this is gonna be my whole campaign to make my roommate miserable. But like, yeah, I'm gonna remember that was the button that I can push the you with the dog game. Is that like that dog game? Huh? So like, sadly, you gotta play the game. Once you realized you were getting close to the ending of Last Guardian, do not play it during the day. Like, I'm sorry that doesn't work in your schedule, or don't play it sometime when you know the roomie's gonna walk in. I guess the big screen's in the living room, so you gotta play it out there. But like,
I would say certain games are more important to not comment on.
Yeah.
I'm not watching some comedy movie here.
Yeah.
I'm watching Spielberg.
The last
I'm
2
watching
hours of Last
Kubrick.
Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would honestly tell him I'd be like, yo, nothing personal. Just some games are very, very important to me emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, however you want to word that, your roommate, obviously I don't. But I would say something, because it's very, like, especially me. Oh my god, like people talking movies, I can't handle it. I can't zone out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't put it out of my brain.
Oh, yeah.
Like 7 out of 10 movies are ruined for me. Even going to like nicer movie theaters like ArcLight or something. Someone just behind me, like, oh my god, I saw a movie recently and someone was like tapping their foot behind me.
Oh, no.
And like I what am I supposed to say? Can you stop tapping your foot? Like,
'Cause then
you
it-
are
oh.
the asshole saying something every time, and I
Yeah.
hate it
Yeah.
my favorite at the movie theater is the dude in front of me just turns on his phone.
every time.
Brightness to the max.
Every time.
It's like, just
That's why
turn
it's
the brightness
It's
down,
worth it to
dude.
go to the ArcLight where they're
It's like if
no
you just
phones.
have to be on your
Still,
phone, I guess.
I see
but,
all
like,
my
turn
movies there,
brightness
and
down,
people
man.
talk, and people get their phones out.
It makes me so mad. It's like,
This is why.
what?
That's why I go to Studio Movie Grill.
What is
City
that?
Valley. The
City
one I'm telling you
Valley.
that I'm going to see Rogue One at.
Oh.
You get your own recliner seat.
Yeah.
So you can recline back. So
Somebody's
your
still
viewing
checking a
level,
phone.
you
Yeah,
don't
but then
see
people
that
are
shit.
eating, dude, and then the theater like smells like hot
can-
dog and
You
shit.
can do ones without
Like-
food. They have different tiers.
Ooh,
or whatever.
I want
They
that
have
no
like
food
a
tier.
couch or whatever.
Yeah.
They have like one like that's like just casual, like sit on the couch, like you're like kind of like at home feel, but like a giant screen.
Yeah.
Then they have one that's like strictly like no food, no beverage, no kids or anything. Like
Love
animal draft
that.
house.
Yeah, the no
Kids.
kid theater.
That
kid.
sounds hardcore.
It's like adult
Yeah.
only,
Yeah.
and there's like no food. They tell you to please eat and stuff like there, and it is a recliner seat, and it's like really good because like I saw 2 movies. I saw Force Awakens like that, and I saw the last Mission Impossible, the Rogue Nation like that. Everyone
2
was, like,
classic films.
all
Two
like
classic
it was
films.
no kids, all adults. It seemed like everyone was excited to be there. Like I
Yeah.
want to see this movie.
Totally.
Just recline back and stuff. It was like silence. It was perfect. I was like didn't realize I was at the theater.
That's
either.
kind of the double-edged
If you-
sword of
like-
like premiere nights for movies too. You get a crowd that wants to be there and clearly respects the movie, but then there's like you can get a little too carried away, rambunctious.
So I picked this story, one, because it's funny and it's really well written, but I've had this happen to me. I was finishing Skyward Sword,
Perfect.
and my roommate, who I love big time, listens to this podcast even, walks in and is like, dude, this is epic. And it's just like, not now. This is the end of Skyward
Oh my
Sword.
God.
I'm on the verge of tears, and he's just like, dude. It's like, no. So a really good tip is to pause and go to the bathroom.
Pause and go to the bathroom.
That's like if you're really afraid of like
That's not a bad idea.
being doing the cool Huber thing, which is just straight up say, you know what, this honestly means a lot to me right now.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, it's pretty good. Or pause and have a conversation.
And I put it on me too.
Yeah.
Like I'm weird for not being able to handle any outside interference. Like I play my games in the darkness with headphones and there's no eating of any kind. No one can speak.
Yeah.
Like I'm a freak of nature with that stuff. Because when any little thing is off, I fixate on it. I can't not zone in on like we were watching the Strain finale and my modem was there. And like the modem flashes, I had to pause. And put my jacket over it so there was no light.
So cool.
And Beth is just like, God, you're so weird. Like,
I love it, Huber. I love
I
it.
love that.
I
The
actually-
focus.
I actually want to compliment my wife Amanda, who was in this situation
Ooh.
and noticed she was in it and backpedaled out.
Oh, she was the roommate.
Yep. Amanda strolls into the conclusion of Red Dead Redemption. Shows up like she has done on episodes of Red Dead Revisited. And so like walks in like, hey, Chad, and I like see that she's coming in like, hey, how you doing? And like I'm literally I can't remember his name, but Uncle. I'm like with Uncle at the farmstead.
Yeah.
And you know, like John's like, they're coming here. Like they're all coming up over the hills. And I'm like, okay, let's shoot them out. This is like the ending of
Yeah.
the game. Like shit's about to get real in about 30 seconds. And she comes in like, hey, Chad, hey, what's going on? And like, whoa, who are those guys? Is this the end of the game? Like just realized in that moment, like, wait, Brandon's kind of quiet right now. It was just like, is this the end? And I'm like, yeah, this is like literally the last thing. She was like, okay. And I sat down on the couch. And like, I was like,
Nice.
points. So,
Points.
6.
Good thing you proposed.
I'm married up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So yeah, at the very least, just show your roommate this podcast.
But I like the pause. Bore them. Make it boring.
I don't mean bore them, but just like engage and just
Yeah.
kind of set aside the end of the game. Just like how you
well, just so
doing?
they become disinterested and they're
Yeah.
like, yeah. So, but if you're like, what you just did, it kind of annoyed me and made me uncomfortable. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this just got more interesting. Like,
hopefully your
Absolutely.
roommate's on a troll.
what else can I do? I can top that.
Like if my roommate said that to me, I would be like, "Oh, dude, like I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, like I'll go in the bedroom. Like, living room's yours, man. Like, enjoy it."
Okay, we're at the end of our podcast. I have two options, panel.
All right.
I have like a kind of silly, goofy challenge,
Okay.
or a feel-good comment. Another feel-good one. What would you like?
Feel good.
Yeah, I feel like it's the holiday season. It's our last of 2016.
The word jolly.
It's our last love and respect question of 2016. We want to
Okay,
feel good.
We're going with that one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here we go. The essence of Easy A Brotherhood is the name of this comment.
Wow.
Greetings, fellow allies. As the first year of Easy A comes to an end, oh yeah, this is appropriate, I decided to see what the essence of your allies is, what Easy Allies represents, and why so many gamers support you and feel connected to your content. First off, Easy A feels like Nintendo's quality of life program for gaming audience. Like a subculture with love and respect being your motto, it kind of reminds me of NeoGAF combined with wrestling shows that Huber watches. For the unique personalities and relationships and stories and rivals, basically a good show. So, I picked several points stating your philosophy and uniqueness among other gaming-related content creators. It's up to you to comment on these. Okay. So yeah, I guess if we get these statements, and then
Dude.
you say like I guess yeah,
This is
comment on them.
epic.
Dude, epic, bro.
I'll never forget that.
Dude.
Oh my god.
The first, 10 points to the first person who drops that in 2017. The end of the group stream, dude.
Oh god, the end is so good of that game too. Okay. Every game deserves a second chance. Do you think that's us?
Every game deserves a second chance.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we can be a little brutal sometimes.
We
Does
can be very
Battleborn
brutal.
deserve a second chance? Does it? I think it does.
But at least when it was time to stream Battleborn,
Yeah,
True.
we were all open to it.
sure.
Straight up.
So maybe it's every game deserves a chance.
Every game does deserve a chance.
Because after that stream, we did not give Battleborn.
But there is a
second
channel
chance.
that's like tied to or something.
Oh no.
These are just statements, or
Yeah, so I picked several points stating your philosophy and uniqueness.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Second chance too. We did that, or I did that with Resident Evil 6.
Ooh, true.
Now with Dead Space 3.
I can see how that could be part of
And I
Easy
feel like
Alex
there was
philosophy.
another big one that I did.
Dead
I was
Space
like,
3?
I'll go in. It was Dead Space, Resident Evil 6, and one more. I'll try to think
Army
of
of Two.
An Army of Two.
Yeah,
Dumb Game Monday.
Dumb Game Monday.
true. Yeah,
Give it another
Letting the
go.
patrons vote for stuff so they can throw out suggestions that we might miss. Yeah.
yeah. Go out of your comfort zone. Explore all sorts of games that you might like. Something Damiani does, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Damiani has a clear comfort zone. But sometimes you're streaming a game. 'Cause you're doing that like this month, actually. You're doing that in December. You're like trying to educate yourself of all the games that are out there.
Yeah, Damiani. When I knew you were doing Game Sleuth about Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah, that's out of
I-
Damiani's wheelhouse.
I'm not even kidding, Damiani. There were numerous times when I was sitting alone at my house, thinking in my head, I cannot wait to talk to Damiani about GTA 5.
Dude,
like so pumped.
Can you imagine?
So
Can you imagine
pumped.
me when I got that script?
Yeah.
When I got the script for that Game Sleuth episode, and it was like, in Grand Theft Auto 5, it's like,
Yeah,
Go on.
Damiani.
I got here one day.
Tell me
Damiani was
more.
sitting in the chair, and I was like, dude, Damiani, tell me all about GTA 5. Like, let's go.
Yeah, great example.
Yeah, so I just wanted to hear his thoughts.
Were you into it, Damiani?
Into
GTA 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. We had a good talk about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not so sure about Half-Life. Not having a good time with that game.
Me too, man. Me too.
Original
Half-Life 1?
Yeah,
Yeah, Half-Life 1. It's a little rough.
It's a little rough.
but you're doing it.
Not doing myself any favors by playing the mouse and keyboard. Chat continuously reminds me, like, why are you not playing the PS2 version with the controller?
Wait, is PS2 the superior version of
No.
Half-Life 1?
I
no,
don't
no, it just has a controller.
Compromise.
This has
so
Oh.
compromised.
I don't like.
Although, guess what? I played it on PS2.
Like, I don't know if like anything's changed in it. I was like, no, the intent of it was to play all these games in the most original version. I guess I kind of screwed up on Symphony of the Night because people tell me Saturn version's actually the superior pure version or something. It has
Whoa.
Saturn.
No, it's like
Don't listen.
I don't know.
Don't.
I don't know enough.
Jones
about,
reaches for the
just
prove
knew
it
about
ticket.
the-
I think it might be
Not there.
It might be a music thing.
But
It
yeah,
might
that's
be a
what
music
retro game sessions is. Like,
Sure.
play the game and it's best to your knowledge, like its original platform, original form.
Creator's
and
intent.
Half-Life was not meant to be
intent.
played with a controller. Like when it came out,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, no,
you're not
no,
playing
yeah,
with
yeah.
a controller. You're playing mouse
Yeah.
keyboard. Like, I gotta play this mouse key. I gotta play it the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
I would say that was also true, not specifically in games, but also in production as well. That I like that's something that we have done not only in the latest days of game trailers, but here at Easy Allies, like trying shows we haven't done before, doing something like Fiasco Nuts.
Oh,
you know,
good point.
Where,
Absolutely.
where some of us are kind of stepping out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
Ben Moore hosting his own podcast now.
Yeah.
Editing his own stuff. Right now he's cutting the second part of Tales
Outside
from
of
the
the
East.
comfort
So
zone. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
That's cool.
That is a goal of mine also for 2017 to get a lot of y'all out of your comfort zones.
Doing the
Doing
meetup
weird
was
stuff.
outside of my comfort zone.
Getting Kyle to show up on time. You know what I mean? Like really challenging you.
Gamers are not nerds. They are great people with bright personalities and lots of other interests.
Gamers are nerds.
Yeah, actually, I think I disagree with this one.
Brad, nerd.
But Brad
Gamers
uses
are big-
nerd.
big time
That's what I
nerds.
never understand, Brad, is he's using nerd in like a negative way. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with being a nerd, Brad?
Well, no. When Brad does that, he's like being funny.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, nerd? Like,
Yeah.
that's he's being funny with that one.
I think it's a self. Well, maybe there's some stuff with you, but with us,
Yeah,
it's
you're
self.
right.
It's
Yeah, he
self,
says it aggressively. to
Using
me.
it with-
You're right.
self-referential.
I'm
Within Final Fantasy 14 to call other 14 players nerds
Yeah.
is
Like,
like,
when
he's
you're
When,
there,
when,
that's
when
like
Brad's a
obviously
higher level than
yeah.
me,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, and I played 11. It's great.
yeah. No, I think nerd is fine. I'm 100% okay with being a nerd. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But the idea that gamers are great people with bright personalities and lots of other interests, absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely agree.
100%.
Cool. Oh. No.
It's just a kind of a general statement. I don't feel comfortable making that at all.
Okay. We don't accept that one.
I don't feel comfortable saying gamers are anything. If there was a blank after that, I'd be like, people who play games.
Can
That's
be.
it.
Exactly.
That's the definition of that.
Jones, that's where I'm at. It's
Whereas
like,
I never want to make an assumption like all gamers are great. Like they're not. Like, there are some people out there who play video games that are very not nice and let other gamers know they're not nice.
you know, my policy is usually just I find most sentences you use gamer in, you could easily put person in and it would still work. And so in that case, just do
Sure.
that. Yeah, I don't, I guess I see where you're not into this statement.
Yeah.
I have
think
hopes for gamers more than people who don't play because the odds increase. I think if you are a gamer to meet other people very different from yourself in the world, so that your ideals about other people can maybe be a little more open ended about other than people that like I just read my book and I just in my house and I don't go away people. Versus like I play online. I
But
play
that's the way I
StarCraft
play
with other
games.
people around the
That's
world.
not fair.
Right?
That's the way I play games.
Right.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't play
Yeah.
multiplayer games.
So I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just
Sure.
saying like the odds go up.
Okay.
Of that person, being curious about Japanese culture. Like being curious about the video game market in the UK versus the US.
Kyle, what-
having an interest in being a little more worldly.
Sure.
Kyle, what was the last multiplayer game you put a substantial amount of time in?
Splatoon.
God, I didn't put a substantial time in Splatoon.
Substantial, like
I know.
like a month or two of like good solid.
Couldn't
play.
even get him to play
A
14.
month or two? No, dude. No.
Nothing.
No.
Uh-uh.
Negative. Not even
Gotta be something. It's
Pokemon.
gonna be Mario Kart, Smash.
Call of Duty, maybe?
Gotta be something here.
You were into Black Ops 3, weren't you?
We beat the campaign in a couple days. That was it.
And
Hard
then
out.
we did some matches online.
I was
but,
like, because I was
months-
like, we gotta at least play a match or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my loot box. I got my first loot box, opened it, and then I was done. Because it sucked.
Yeah, it's like green gun.
I mean, I played a lot of Mario Kart, but not a ton online. I don't know. Nothing, Huber.
Nothing.
It's not my jam.
Is it because multiplayer doesn't have a story, or genuinely you just don't want to play with other people? Or you don't have to answer if that's too personal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not too personal. I don't
Okay.
know the answer. I mean,
I just find it interesting.
in college, loved to play Halo 2,
Yeah.
and that was like in dorms.
Okay.
Loved that. Yeah, I think I
So
just.
the love is there.
I think I don't care if the competitors aren't there for me to gloat at. At the
Oh, you're
meetup.
talking about
Oh,
online?
you want to troll people in person, not
Yeah.
online.
Local multiplayer.
So yeah, here's a story about the meetup. I only got to do one cup of Mario Kart. I was planning to do it all night, but I only did one. I was horrible to those people. I destroyed them, and then I stood up and pointed at the number 1, and I said, "What is that number? Y'all still racing?"
Yeah,
And they were
everyone
still
out there
finishing-
should feel fortunate that Kyle is not playing more games online.
so funny. I was so horrible to them, and a lot of them were just kind of like, "Yeah, I'll play Mario Kart. I haven't played this version yet." And I'm like, "How you doing? You still racing? I'm number 1. What's that number next to my name?" And beat them like 3 times. It was awful.
That's Kyle. Doing
Yeah,
that.
that's what I need.
I wait till everyone plays my game and I go and play privately when it's dead just to compare how good I was.
But me, yeah.
Oh yeah, you did that. Yeah, and Damiani was the best, by the way.
But Huber, that proving to yourself that you have skill in something and proving to other players, and then that satisfaction of like the moment to moment of testing your skill and being like, yes, I'm better than that person, doesn't do a lot for me. It just doesn't
I hear you.
like.
But
I hear you.
I have zero of that. But I still love playing online games.
Because you like
It
the
has
joy of
nothing-
playing with others.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with being
Competitive.
better than
Got it.
somebody.
Right.
It has to do with like being on a team or just like, again, just playing with others, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Like one-on-one in For Honor, like I hate one-on-one stuff because then it is so like amplified, like you are better or worse than that person. But I feel like I'm gonna get into it. I don't know.
And Street Fighter it didn't really click with
Street
you.
Fighter can't do it. Too
Yeah.
intense. Like even StarCraft have played 1,000 hours of StarCraft 2. I only play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, or just all-out war.
That's true.
Can't do like
Huber needs
one-on-one.
a team. Yep.
Not doing it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Too intense.
Damiani, you had one last thought on that one.
I mean, you already talked about like local multiplayer. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, that's what I was saying because I was asking about like Smash Brothers. Like, did you ever play Smash Brothers back in the day? Like the amount of time we played Melee in school and stuff, or after school and stuff, and then it still persisted through college and stuff. It was
Yeah.
just like
I played a lot of Smash.
Non-stop Melee. Didn't matter if you're bad or stuff. It was like
Yeah.
you just like sit there and play somebody. It's like, because everyone was like not that great at it and stuff, so it was like good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
always good
Couch
stuff.
multiplayer, yes.
Without
In person,
close-
yes. Playing against friends,
that was
oh yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
good.
That's the birth of werehogs. That's like you need a couch. You
I
need
mean,
a couch co-op.
I'll echo your sentiment a little bit though, Kyle, or about playing with the online stuff. So real quick, like with
Sure.
14, like I love, I have the most fun playing with people I know. So like that's why like even if it's old content I've done to death, like it's the most fun playing with like my friends and stuff and like
Yours
joking
and
and stuff.
allies.
Then it's super fun to play with like people I know in the game and stuff that I do stuff with. When I get with strangers in that game, and but it's something that's like more difficult that requires social interaction. Like that's where I get like really timid and nervous and like it's more like intense and like less like I don't want to say less fun, but it kind of is like a
Yeah,
little
it
less
is.
fun.
You can say less fun.
Yeah, and especially and it comes down to like and then the most competitive part, there is a very competitive PvP mode in that game. Like I just dread ever having to try it and play it. Like it's just like that is like
There's a limit.
It's not even co-op anymore. We're working to get goal. It's competitive.
Everyone for
And
themselves and
It's
14?
it's 4v4. It's
Okay.
it's two teams of 4 against each other. But even people in your own team, they are taking out 14 is taking out the chat feature in that mode specifically because the player base has been so toxic just when in that mode.
Wow.
Like they basically like, hey, we saw what was happening with other games in our game, and like we don't want to be like League of Legends with the toxicity and stuff in this game. It's the only place where it was happening as rampantly and as badly as that. So that's my fear, is that playing with like strangers and stuff. Like the more, like if I play a game long enough and I get familiar people, like I love that social aspect. I mostly love playing with friends. So that's why online's always been to me. It's like, it's some random person,
Some rotten apples.
like whatever.
So this was not meant to be 4-minute talking points for each statement.
That's fine.
Okay. We have 4 more. No, do not apologize. People love your discussions.
I was just curious about multiplayer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Be hyped for the stuff you like. Keep expectations real still.
Yes. This is my philosophy on life.
What about expectations real? I think
Yes.
toss that part out.
I love that.
Yeah?
Because I can be, I don't know, like maybe I'm
Yeah.
just tricking myself, but I can be 10 out of 10, hyped through the max, Resident Evil 7, whatever, but the moment like the game starts, it's like, all right, chill.
Yeah.
Expectations are in check.
I
hear you
think
here. Okay.
Like-
know where your expectations are and why. You know, be in control of them. Know that, like, yeah, my expectations for Red Dead Redemption 2 are unreasonable.
Yeah.
But I know why they're there. You know, and like, and I know how I will likely react if they're not met. You
Okay,
know?
I hear you there,
And
Jones.
so that's like, that's what pisses me off about expectations sometimes, where people are like, "Well, Pokemon Go, not super famous, 3rd month in a row." It's like, who thought it would really? Like, who would, you know? When something doesn't break a 5th record in a row, people are like, "Well," it's like, oh, come on, you knew that was going to happen. So like, you know, when people kind of betray like what I think we should have thought reasonably,
Sure.
that's when it gets silly.
Damiani.
I agree. That should be that is like a bullet point for us or a statement that applies.
Be hyped for the stuff you like.
Yeah, the thing I just want to add this.
Okay.
And I feel maybe I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I guess he probably feels a little bit like this as well. Bloodworth, having spent so many years at GT and in the industry, especially the journalist side of it, being routinely hammered and taught that you can't show emotion and like, you know, bias or whatever at like events. Like like you'd see all those articles and those comments from like the bigwig journalists on like sites. I won't name anyone, obviously.
Nice.
That would like call out like, why are people cheering? Are you a fanboy? Like, why you shouldn't be there then.
I remember that.
Like you can't, you do not belong at any kind of press event
If
if
you're
you're there
cheering.
to cheer and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you were there to report back to the public on what you saw in an objective manner. You're not supposed to show any emotion in it. Which you could see sorry, throat getting dry. You can see that was a problem in previews during that era, and still kind of are. They were so clinical and dry.
Yeah.
They're like, because you were told if you show any emotion or subjectiveness, it can be perceived as a review and an opinion before the game comes out, and you can negatively or positively influence it with and it can be seen as bias. And I was like, man, so reviews are basically just boring Wikipedia articles. Like, that's always found them easy. I was like, I'll do previews this crap. I was like, it's super easy to do. It's like, write about the facts of the game. I was like, this is like the easiest thing in the world to do.
I love nothing more than us being able to cover the things we love. Like you being able to review Dragon Quest Builders.
Yeah.
Or like me reviewing Uncharted, or Ben reviewing Final Fantasy 15. Like
I can
Damiani
stream
reviewing
Tetris
Zelda.
every Friday. Tetris.
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Yeah, that's
pretty cool.
It's
Because
good.
Yeah.
like, man, I can't ever imagine us like being biased about something in a way that would like affect a review, you know? It's like if
Yeah.
we're already passionate about it,
yeah, I
it's
don't-
from like a nice, good place. It's like, I'm not going to say a game is good when it isn't, even if I love it and I'm hyped on it, you know?
Yeah, I don't
So-
think that's what people are ever going to perceive us as because of that, or at least as time has gone on, people probably won't think that anymore. I think it was more for me personally. I don't think I look as emotionally excitable on the outside at any kind of announcements. Most of the time, just because it's like, I want to say it's like training. It's like experience that, don't overreact to anything like this, even, and then like after
We have
the
to
fact,
tear down Damiani's training.
like the only time
We have to unlearn it, Damiani.
like the only way I can get into it is like getting into a troll mindset, which sucks because one, you might see emotion on me when they do an announcement, I laugh at it and stuff, but like it's almost driving on the negativity part of it than the positive.
Yeah.
So like when Square Enix announced the Final Fantasy VII port, not remake, at
I remember
PSX
that
that
well.
year,
Yes.
I was like laughing so like. I was in like a chat with people, so if we were doing our reactions, I would have been like laughing my ass off at that, which is like funny, but it's like that's not like hype or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I went to school and graduated with a journalism degree. Mm-hmm. And you could say that I'm not professional when I go to these
Well, I think you
events.
need to be consistent in your consistent in your hype. You know, it's like if Huber was to be hyped about something and then that turned out to be bad, and Huber's like, "Oh, that game sucks. I always hated that game." We're like, "Wait, no, you didn't. 2 months ago, you were freaking out about it." No, I wasn't. You know, like, yeah, then you lose credibility. Then I'm wondering, like, well, why are you getting excited? I don't understand.
Sure.
But if
And also
you know,
being willing to bail. If you are totally hyped on something
Yeah.
and it doesn't turn out right, like just saying, I was wrong
like
about that.
I'm
Yeah,
like
been there.
I am incredibly excited about Horizon Zero Dawn next year. I'm starting to get the fear. You know, at this point where I'm like, the more and more I see, the more questions I have. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's great. And that's a story you're not going to get right away. You have to follow someone and hear them talk about the game for so many years. I want to talk just really quick. Pivotal moment in the life of Brandon Jones.
Ooh.
I am at elementary school at a magic show. I don't know if this was after school, if this was like a show the whole school was going to go see. And I'm sitting right behind Gina Hamaday.
Who is
that? And just a girl that I went to school with. But I'll never forget who it was.
Good name.
And she's sitting in front of me, and the magician did one of those things where it was like, "Oh no, I lost a handkerchief. Where was it?" And like I saw, like, it's behind you. I saw it. I saw the move you did. It's over there. You know, and I was like, "It's over there. It's in the thing." And I got one of these from her. Like, "Oh my God, you're into this?" And I was like, "Whoa." I'm like, "Oh no, a girl just like, oh no." Like, the girls think that's dumb, you know, that I'm into this. I was like, "Oh no, I gotta be like cool, right?" You know, like I can't, oh yeah, I was a straight up third grader right there, you know, like being all crazy about this. And I was like, "Wait, what? No, I like magic. Screw you. I'm sorry." Like, I'm into that. I don't care. I'm not gonna like not be into this because it's not cool. Like, why was I here? I might as well just not even show up for the show if I'm like not gonna be into the magic trick. So that's when you say stuff, you're like, you know, when I complain about horror movies and you're like, you need to be ready and focused on it. It's like, yes, no, of course. Like, I'm all, you know, I'm either show up or don't, but don't like show up and then okay. You know.
Jones watched The Wailing.
That was a great
I did. Tangent.
Sorry. Yeah,
And I
that
had
was
questions.
emotional.
And
that
I had
was
questions.
a great speech, Jones. I love it.
And I asked Huber the questions, and Huber said, "I don't know about some of those." And I
Yeah.
was like, "That's all I needed to hear. We don't need to come up with the right or wrong answer."
Have you watched
But-
The Wailing? Why? Huber,
It's not a
why?
horror.
Because I was critical.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. All right.
Love the story.
I had some hype
as well.
issues, and I needed to address them with
Sure.
with Captain Hype over here.
It was relevant.
That's an
Absolutely.
inspiring story, actually.
I love that
I'm gonna
story.
like magic.
It wasn't. I did not see it ending
'Cause
that
I
way.
hated that. I hated that feeling that she made me feel. It's like,
Oh,
whoa! I just gave you the power for 5 seconds, and I'm never doing that ever again.
Whoa.
Somebody that's like
Take that,
Batman,
Gina.
be like, great, cool. You go live in your
right.
Batman hating life. That sounds terrible.
What's up, Gina? I'm having a good time pretending to be Batman right now.
Just for reference, Gina's a wonderful person, and,
Okay.
and,
All right,
has a lovely family now, and you know,
Sure.
but
She probably likes magic now.
she's way into magic tricks.
Yeah. I'm cutting us off there.
All right.
There are more. Let me just run through these. I don't want to discredit the comment. Spread the good word about the games you enjoy and other people you might know might like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially in reviews. That's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And previews. I think previews are a big part of that. What I loved is that PSX video we got to make. We went to PSX. We wrote down the games we loved big time, and we were able to talk about it. We did it for E3. Those nights of E3 where we come home and then talk about the games at night. Oh, I love those nights.
Good.
Still really want Damiani to play Banner Saga. Love it.
He's got a lot on his plate.
Just one or two.
The first one? Yeah, sorry.
It's okay to like your guilty pleasure games and series that may not be liked by the mainstream audience.
Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a huge part of that is making the difference between what I like is good. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's
like
okay
I
to
know
like-
this may not be good, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. And it's that kind of thing of just like
Swimming in sevens, baby.
swimming in sevens.
That's exactly what that is.
No, a 7.
Yeah.
A 7 can mean a 10 in your heart, but you gotta kind of be realistic about it.
Enslaved Odyssey of the West. 10 in my heart.
Yeah.
Maybe a 7 on paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. And it's okay to value your time and play only the stuff you think you may enjoy. It's more Ian's point from Easy Allies thing, but still a damn good point. Yeah. Kind of negates the original point of like trying new things, like Damiani. Ian doesn't always do that. But Ian, to his credit, does play through games he hates.
Yes, he
Just to
does.
get
And is constantly bringing up titles none of us have ever heard of before.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fact that he played Uncharted 4 and all that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hope I caught the core of your group correctly. Congratulations on a successful first year. Wish you the best of luck on what's to come. Love and respect. Russian fan of GT since 2008.
Wow.
Maxim Mamontov.
Thanks, Maxime.
Mamontov. Ooh, it's hard for me to know where the A's go on a Russian. I'm going to say Maxim. Maxim Mamatov. Okay. Thank you,
allow it.
Maxim. Maxim. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, little Maxim. Okay. So that's it. That's the Love and Respect episode. It is 1:24 a.m.
That's 2016, baby.
Oh, it was 2016. Feels good.
Yeah.
If you've noticed us deflate a little, it's because it is early in the morning now. But we made it through it. Thank you so much for your Love and Respect suggestions.
Remember that first podcast, man? When we first sat down on this couch, set up the lights and everything, it was like,
Barely,
oh,
man.
here we are.
Yeah.
On the couch, I guess.
Which
This
was
is
already
weird.
late. It was already late because the stream went an hour late
Yeah.
because we had just talked about
recorded
Game
it
of
on
the Years.
that
Yeah.
lead on the one dumb microphone.
Oh wait, do you mean?
Sat around in chairs.
Oh, you say? Do you remember the first podcast from?
First Easy Allies
March.
podcast, yeah.
Yeah, that
Even
was
the first
cool.
time on this couch with the mics here, it was just like, oh, gotta get used to this.
Yeah. How long did we? I
Now I'm
think
used
I think
to
we
it.
had these like the second week.
The second one, yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah.
First one was just the Yeti.
Just the Yeti.
Just the
So
Yeti.
funny.
That was
and
exciting.
no couch, just chairs.
Yeah.
We're all huddled around.
Yeah. A lot of the staples stuck around. Rufus. We did not start this podcast with Rufus.
That's fine.
We should
See
end
us
it with
here.
Rufus.
We should end it.
Yeah.
We should end the year with love and
Yeah,
respect.
we really should.
Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We will be back in 2017 with more podcasts, much more news will be happening. But, I mean, Easy Allies does so many things. Go to easyallies.com to see everything that we're up to, and patreon.com/easyallies to see how you might support us. But I think we're all just feeling very grateful. We're excited to have this year. And I just realized there was no podcast halftime.
So we need to wrap it up with podcast halftime and love and respect. Podcast post show.
Even more special.
Post-show.
Podcast post show.
Post-show wrap up.
The post
There
show
it
wrap
is.
up. No, okay, we have to save something good for after this. So
Okay.
that somebody can't just tune out now.
Yeah.
We're going to improvise a song after this.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Great. So you forgot it, and then we have to work
Yes.
harder because you've great. Okay.
You could have reminded me.
Yeah. Wonderful. The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of December, and what a month it was! Michael Kozachenko at Misha Koz, Mango, Simon Anderson, iKeyless. Need a new car key or remote? iKeyless.com has been in the key replacement business since 2002. Check them out today, and they can help save you up to 75% off of the dealership's prices. If you type in offer code EASYA at checkout, you'll get 15% off of your order. Scorn! An atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. Sweet Justice, a sound design company based in England that's worked on Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, and Call of Duty. You can see their work and hear their work at www.sweetjustice.audio. YoYoTricks.com, a tutorial website for teaching people how to yo-yo. To buy yo-yos and learn how to get started, visit YoYoTricks.com or their YouTube channel. Go to YoYoTricks.com/EasyAllies to get 25% off their top recommended yo-yo. Perfect stocking stuffer for anyone who's ready to start learning yo-yo tricks. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. And now it's time to improvise a song before we have love and respect.
So bad at this.
So, Damiani, you got to be bass.
We're not doing like words.
No, you're gonna start us off. We'll have words if you want, but we need you to give us.
Oh,
that.
I thought we were doing. Remember the old thing we used to do with the word? You do a word.
The
you go
Beastie
next
Boys.
word, Beastie Boys thing.
Oh, why? Do you want to do Beastie Boys instead?
Yeah, because I was gonna troll you with the first word.
Okay, so no, we're not doing that.
Damn it.
All right, so yeah, Damiani, give us a little bassy groove.
Bass.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
a song. Our inspiration is pro strats. That's a word I pulled from
Pro Strats.
pro strats. Okay.
Boop 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 boop.
I want to be a pro.
But I'm
Show
not.
me how.
I wish I was Brad. He's a legit pro.
How do I be a pro like that?
Yo, how do I be a pro like that? How do I be a pro like him? How do I be a pro like Damiani?
Some people say Damiani's a pro. I've never seen him play games, so I don't know.
Ooh, yeah. Bum, bum.
Okay. Oh my god.
So Damiani gave us a great beat. You know what? Snapping a little unusual, Hubert.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Throwing you all off. I lost beat. I was off beat. My fingers started giving out.
We did what we could. We promised an improvised song, though, and that was it. It came.
Should we love and respect just on the way out, though?
Oh,
Just on this?
absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back in 2017. Hope to see you then. Until then, hope you have a lot of love and respect.
Love and respect.